Hello. Hello, you beautiful soul. So I had a message today for somebody who feels like they're being crucified. Okay. I was sitting with Spirit earlier and, Spirit was just like, hey, there's somebody in the collective right now that is feeling like they're being crucified. Okay. And I I understand this feeling. I have actually been through this myself. So what I was seeing was just like a huge tower moment, right? Just like everything falling down, like the whole structure, the whole everything falling, right? Just collapsing, everything collapsing in on itself. And, um, things falling away, things falling out of your life, habits changing, friendships changing, relationships changing, family dynamics changing, all these things, right? And masks fall off. Masks are gone. Rose-colored glasses are off. You can see, right? You have your special glasses on now that are permanent. You can't take them off, right? There's just like people continuously are showing you their true colors, right? And you can't unsee it. And I know for me personally, whenever I was going through this, it took so many times for these patterns to repeat before I was willing to see it 144 as I'm saying this. And yeah, so trust me, I understand being stuck like in these patterns and stuff. And it's like you see them, but then you're like, you know, but but what if something changes? What if this person changes or, whatever? I can help them. You're throwing out lifelines to people and um stuff and they're just not. And so I was seeing someone just like feeling like they're hanging on the cross. Just feeling ultimate betrayal and just just like betrayed left and right. It's almost like you feel, right? This is an illusion. You feel as though everybody around you is betraying you, right? But they're not. They're just reacting in within their programming and within their own conditioning, right? These people haven't reprogrammed their brains. They haven't started their spiritual awakenings, or maybe if they're started, they're just not at your rate of ascension, I guess you could say. They still have some more karmic things to clear out. And the more that you hold on to these karmic situations, the longer it's going to take for you to sit on the cross, or walk to the cross, right? It's your walk to the cross that is elongated. Spirit's telling me that. Thank you, Spirit. So you finally get nailed to the cross, right? And this is just the ultimate surrender point. So you are either approaching this point or you're here at this point, ultimate surrender, or you're past that point, and we'll get there. But ultimate surrender, you're just there. And you're like, I did the best I could. I was just doing what I felt to be right in that moment, right? Because whoever this message is for, you are wired, right? To what is the word I'm looking for? Like the law of one, right? It's just like in you. It's written in you. So you naturally have this like internal moral compass that leads you into the directions that you go and the decisions that you make, right? And within this practice, you are met with opposition because what you choose to do is outside of the matrix, and it's outside of what has been done or what people believe should be done, or whatever. So you're just on the cross. You're like, I surrender. I did my best. They know not what they did. You're just like, let it, 444 as I'm saying this, let it fall where it may. Wherever you see fit, Spirit, let it fall, right? And so then I was just, sitting with Spirit, and we're chit-chatting about how oh, my hair's going crazy. How Jesus didn't die for our sins, right? And the way that I was introduced to Jesus, I mean, outside of like little Sunday school stuff, which I didn't take very seriously, it was more of like socializing opportunities. But I learned Jesus to be a brother, or like an example of the way that we should be existing, right? So, and that's where the confusion is that people think that Jesus died for our sins. And it's like, no, he didn't die for our sins. He showed us how to die for our own sins, right? How to ascend, how to get out of the lower, dense 555, as I'm saying this, the lower frequencies, and ascend, right, to heaven. So, yes. So what is happening whenever you surrender, right? When you feel like you're being crucified, you're going through this process. It's a Kundalini awakening, and you're shedding the old version of you, and that old version of you dies off, and your divine feminine Shakti energy starts to rise. The serpent within that's coiled at the bottom starts to rise, and your chakra system's activated. That's how we get to heaven, right? But Jesus didn't die for our sins. Like, he just died, and then everybody gets to stay stuck and stagnant in their programming. Like, no, you do it for yourself, right? And you do get crucified. And I wrote down something. What did I write down? Yeah, Jesus taught us how to surrender to our higher self and our inner knowing, right? Because that's what you're doing. You're surrendering, and you're like, I did what I came here to do in this, up to this point, I give it to you, Spirit, I give it to you, everything, I give it all to you, right? Ultimate surrender. And then you walk through hell, right? Because after, in the story, he's crucified, and then he goes to hell for 3 days, right? So in this process, you're crucified, and then you walk through hell, and you face every shadow demon that you have inside of you, right? Which is just you. It's just your shadow, right? People say demons, people say shadows. It's all the same thing, right? You go and you face that, and you let the process burn away, right? Because you've surrendered, and then you let this divine feminine awakening, the Shakti energy, Kundalini energy rising, burn away everything, right? You go in hell, and you face yourself, and you burn all this stuff away. And then you're resurrected after that. Once you face every demon, you face all your stuff, you face all your demons, all your shadows, and then you're resurrected. And that's exactly what Jesus did. He was resurrected. And spirits, what is this? Isis and Osiris resurrecting, right? Shakti and Shiva, but in his second wife, the one that had to wake him up from his meditation. Something about all this stuff's coming through. I'm gonna have to do another video on that. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. It's the divine feminine waking up within every single person, right? But then also here on this earth, right? The earth is actually going through Kundalini awakening too. And all of these things are being burned away. Right? Like, justice is now. It's coming now. Judgment has already been called. And now the things are just burning off. So there's that. Whoever this is for, if you're feeling like you're being crucified, surrender to it. Because if you've been trying to quantum leap, if you've been trying to step into your desired timeline, 1010 as I'm saying this, it's already done. If you're at the point where you're being crucified, let it fall away. Let that old version of yourself die off and be made new in your version, your highest self, in a, your vessel in alignment with your higher self, right? Having the divine feminine, the divine masculine whole within you, the yin yang energies within your vessel, you become the Christ. You are the Christ. You're amazing and you're beautiful and you're needed. And Spirit just wanted me to remind you of that and to let you know that you're not the only one who goes through this, right? No, it doesn't have to be as dramatic as literally being nailed to a cross, but you understand the energy and the process in which the Kundalini awakening happens, right? That's what this is. So anyway, I love you. You're amazing. You're beautiful. And yes.